Got one online also. All right, we're going to go ahead and call the Muskogee Redevelopment Authority Tourism Board meeting to order. It's great to see everyone again. It's been a whole week since we've seen each other. We'll start with a roll call, please.
Avery Fricks.
Here.
Heather Kane.
Here.
Sue Harris. John Newby.
Here.
John Newby. Sarah Guile.
Here.
Alex Reynolds.
Here.
Kim Lynch.
Here.
John Winters.
Yes.
Brent Trout. Russell Sane. Chris Sneed.
I'm told that we do have a quorum here today, so we will go ahead and begin with the meeting with item number 1, consider approval of claims for the month of May 2020 or take other necessary action.
All right, so in your packet, you received the general ledger for the month as well as the expenses by vendor detail. A couple of things that are a little different that we normally don't see. There was some deposits back into the account last month for events that were canceled. So one of those was a softball event that was scheduled at Connors. One was for a speaker that was going to be at the Bass Reeves Conference, so there was an additional $6,500 in income that you normally wouldn't see, and those were just a refund back to us from where we had sent money to secure those speakers. Other than that, there's really nothing else out of the ordinary other than we spent less money. There's not a whole lot going on in May. Things are starting to pick up.
Are there any questions for Amber? I have one question. There's an item on here relating to Earls Lake Country RV. What's is that a project we're working on?
A mistake last month, and what happened was I grabbed the wrong deposit slip. I made a chamber deposit into the tourism account. I know, never done that before. In 3 years, I've never done that, so I just had to take it back out. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a cool project. All right.
No, I wish, but sorry.
Any further questions on the claims?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Avery Fricks.
Yes.
Heather Kane.
Yes.
Sue Harris.
Yes.
John Newby. Sarah Guile.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Kim Lynch.
Yes.
John Winters.
Yes.
Motion passes. We will go ahead and move on to item number 2, consider approval of financials for the month of May 2020 or take other necessary action.
All right, so the first item in this is your balance sheet. So total cash as of May 31st was $192,672.51. There's the inventory and the small amount due from chamber for merchandise sales, as well as fixed assets minus depreciation for a total asset amount of $216,603.90. On the liability side, you'll see that there is a small amount due to the estate. We pay that quarterly, so that will clear out next month. And then the net income for the year is at a negative $472.22. We'll move on to the next item is the profit and loss budget performance. So again, that shows the current month of May compared to budget and the variance, and then the year to date, so July 19 through May of 20, the budget through that, and then the annual budget. Income is showing a little less than budget just due to no merchandise sales, very little. And so, but overall for the year, we're at $580,351.83 in income on a budget of $568,700. And then payroll expense is right on for the year. We're right on for the month, but we are under for the year because there was a gap where we had an open position. There was no convention recruitment this month because there's no conventions going on. Other than that, our biggest expenses were advertising. You'll see under large special projects, those two refunds, so the negative items under the expense line is the refund there. And so the total income for May was $29,286.49. And again, it does show that same year-to-date number of a loss of $472.22. And it is quite a bit less than what was budgeted of a loss just due to everything that's happened.
There are questions on the financials? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Will there be any discussion?
I guess I'll be the mover.
Seeing none, roll call, please.
Avery Friggs.
Yes.
Heather Kane.
Yes.
Sue Harris.
Yes.
Sarah Guile.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Kim Lynch.
Yes.
John Winters.
Yes.
Motion carries. The chair wishes to withdraw item number 3, and we'll move on to item number 4. Discuss and consider approval of the FY 2020 to 2021 tourism budget or take other necessary action. Justin.
So you all received it in your packet this time. It was the same as the one you received last month as well, or last week as well. So fire away, I guess. But so what all do we need to discuss?
If it's okay with you guys, we might be appropriate time to turn it over to Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Chairman. When we put the agenda together, the idea was that we didn't know. We anticipated there may be some action by the City Council related to the tourism budget last Monday night. We had to put the packet together beforehand. So they have the recommendation that you made at the last time you met, and it's still under consideration, and the council will review that next Monday. So this really is an opportunity if you have additional feedback or to the council based off the recommendation that you made last week, which is still before them and is still under consideration for their action. So we put it here in case at the time of when we put the agenda together that there was a need to discuss the budget further. It's really up to the body to decide whether there is a need, but there's not been. The council still has the recommendation that you made last week.
It was a unanimous decision before. I don't have any reason to ask again. We unanimously decided that this was our first choice.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's any other reason besides to discuss it.
Agreed.
Do any council members have questions for us that were not here last week? I mean, I don't know.
I think, just speaking personally, I will say that we respect sincerely the job that the council has before them because the COVID-19 crisis is nobody's fault. You know, it's not because the hotels have performed poorly or the chamber or anybody has performed poorly, but because of this pandemic. And we know that's an incredibly tough decision. Tough decisions have to be made. Of course, every board and every agency wants to have a nice sized budget because we can do more with our budget, but I think that this board is committed to working with whatever budget and whatever recommendations that the council gives to us.
Ditto. If you were waiting to what I thought.
Any further discussion on this item?
I'm just going to comment because I like to keep everybody updated with what's going on. Numbers came out yesterday for lodging. We have a 7th straight week of growth since we hit bottom. We are on the 28-day running total. We're down 37% year over year. So we've already come up above that 40% projection. And again, like I said the other day, Monday night in the city council meeting, we hit rock bottom already. April and May collections were to be the lowest. We are steadily climbing out of that. So I can't stress enough. I know, that we're looking at a budget of 549, which is 40% down. I can't stress enough that we will finish above that. We've already come up underneath it. Last week, the market was only down 26% year over year. And We ran about a 93% occupancy in June last year because of the floods. So to only be down 26% last week, year over year, when we were already competing with those very high occupancy numbers, I can't stress enough. And if anybody wants to drill down into these details, I'll set up a one-on-one with you. But Muskogee is recovering. We are coming out of it, and we're going to perform much better than expected. Most of the hotels are nearly full this week, due in very large part to some athletics that we have going on and the fishing tournament that the Chamber has worked to secure. It's been a tremendous week. So, for what it's worth.
What do we look between here and the 4th? Can you make any projections?
Between here and the 4th of July?
Do you have anything, do you have any big events, any,
The city will probably be sold out 4th of July weekend. I don't normally give our numbers away. I'm so sorry, Mark, but
you'll be all right. You'll live
five
through it.
nights out of the last week, I've been 2 or 3 rooms short of sold out.
What a shame.
So, in this Bassmaster tournament hasn't even started yet, and I drive by every 2 days to the hotels, and there have been trucks there for over a week already.
Yeah.
So it's things like this. This Bassmaster is an investment of $25,000 max. It'll be more like 15 to 20 this year because there's not a lot of pieces that usually go into one of these due to social distancing. But these things bring hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hotel night stays. So a 3-day span, a 2-week span. This is where all the tourism money's coming from, and it's really generating. It's being our lifeline right now, and I think it's good work on the tourism board. I think it's good work by our staff and everyone working to secure these things, to make the right decisions, and to get this money back as soon as possible.
Any further discussion? Comments?
Sounds encouraging.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate our members of the council for being here today and the mayor. Well, seeing no further discussion, I believe that's all on that item. I don't believe there's any action that needs to be taken. And so with that, I believe that's all that's on the agenda today. So we are adjourned.